like 1,000,002 people
Morning,
who
everybody.
like spinny chairs, office spinny chairs.
Todd and Erin, morning.
We will never have
Street.
as many followers as office spinny chairs.
I don't understand what you just say.
I said Facebook has a page dedicated to office spinny chairs, and it's got over 1 million followers. And I was saying we will never be as popular as office spinny chairs.
Well, I knew that from the start. Would you like to pat
We're
the
not
I almost said watermelon. Okay.
Why would I want to pat the pumpkin?
Because it's October. All right, we should get going here.
Have you noticed which glasses you're wearing?
I got them yesterday. I was with my Zachy. Mm-hmm. We went to the dollar store where I got my bi-monthly 5 or 6 pair of.
Okay.
Say I can do this. I don't care. But these are rather stunning. And,
Yeah, guess they are.
Yeah, right. But look, I'm blind.
Kinda.
Just for reading.
It's a beautiful
So
look for you, honey.
Zachy grabbed them. They were the right intensity. And I talked about this yesterday. A little more flair. Plus I'm wearing a collar. So it's like an important thing, like there's a wedding or a funeral today. Okay.
Well, that's good. Okay, this is going to be an interesting morning. Let's go to the Morning Mountain Cam. It's brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. You can go to Utah Credit Approval because bad things happen to good people, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't repair your credit and get a car you need. And it's dark. Again, there's your star again, the last star.
Look at my star.
Mm-hmm. This is cool today. We've got things like, for instance, the breakup shop where they do the dirty work for you.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's coming up. The first thing we're going to talk about.
Student sex found by mother. There's an awkward conversation.
Guy got thrown in prison for a donut. Must have been a good donut.
And did you know there's actually a fajita-based felony?
I did not know that.
We will learn this today.
Very nice. Where do you want to start?
I think we should start right now with the breakup shop.
I put on my serious glasses for this. And, we've all been through it. Everyone's been through it.
As Carrie knows in Sex and the City, she was broken up to with a Post-it note.
See,
we all know we've been there somewhere.
Boy meets girl, girl meets boy, boy falls in love, girl falls in love, girl screws him over, breaks up with him. Let's watch the video because I think this is representative of what we all go through. Here, go ahead. But now you don't have to rely on them because Brother's Breakup Tips is ready to help you.
It's the breakup shop, and they will actually do the dirty work for you. Yes.
Okay, so let's go down the shopping list, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, breakups in a text, $10.
I've seen those before.
Breakup text standard. This is a letter.
A breakup letter, dear honey.
It's 20.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 20. Gift pack.
Wow. Is that where you give all the crap back that's still laying around your apartment?
No. It actually comes with some goodies that you get to.
You get a gift basket when you break up. That's a first.
That's exactly what it is.
Ladies, that's a first. At least we're getting cookies out of this, and I think that's important.
It's unbelievable. Also, that's what is included.
Customized names where it goes, dear blank, and then you can fill in the name so it feels extra special to you. Created by our expert breakup team. Customized names, letter printed on high-quality cardstock with 70-pound bright white paper envelope. Includes our return address in case you don't want your ex to know where you live now. After ordering, we'll be in touch by email to arrange the details of your breakup. Please allow for 2 weeks for delivery following the arrangement of your breakup. Oh, for rush breakups, there is a 3-day plan, so that works a little bit quicker.
It's like by Amazon.
Like you really want it done now. They can help you out.
Because otherwise you have to play dumb and just kind of go along with it and not be in a relationship that you like.
Traditionally guys just ghost you and it's over. But, I do appreciate the gift basket concept. I mean, that's nice.
Pink. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but Pink, the artist, what is she saying?
Well, this actually has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with breast cancer
I know.
awareness, but that's very sweet.
But she's Pink.
Well,
well.
she's been with Carrie Hart for 11 years. He's like motocross,
hot.
BMX.
I thought he was okay.
Yeah, no, he's not a
Okay.
skateboarder. It's BMX.
Okay.
And so they've broken up before. She had a lot of really pissed off songs, which was sort of awesome. The one where she goes,
I want to fight.
I don't know where my husband is. I'm not going to pay his rent. And,
Right.
and then they get back together again. And there's one where she talks about, I love you except for when I want to murder you.
Right,
But
right.
it's true love. And it's like,
That's
it really
nice.
speaks for all of us. Think about it. Aren't there times where the more passionate your love, the more you hate that person for at least a moment? Because the opposite of love is indifference. It's not hate. And don't lie to me, because I know there's times you've looked at me with a white, hot hatred in your eyes. Not all the time, just a very few times. Because most of the time we love each other. But what she was saying is that there's moments I look at Carrie and he's the most thoughtful, logical, constant man. He's like a rock. He's a good dad. He's the kind of dad I thought he'd be in then some, which is a big deal for us.
And then she goes crazy.
And she goes, and then I'll look at him and go, I've never liked you. There is nothing I like about you. We have nothing in common. I don't like any of the stuff you like. I don't ever want to see you again. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, things are going so good, you guys. But she said
That sounds like a healthy relationship.
well, it's interesting. I mean, she said, then you go through times where you haven't had sex in a year. And I think, is this bed death?
Go back to the picture that you showed us of Pink. Does this look like a lady who, a year?
She said, is this bed death? Is this the end of it? Do I want him? Does he want me? She says, monogamy is work, but you do the work and it's good again. But she said up to a year, yeah. So there you go.
She is no longer my role model.
I think that she speaks for many of us sometimes. I think that's cool. Oh, speaking of sex, this one's going to kill you. You ready? Dominic Richardson
We're shifting gears rather quickly today. Go
said
ahead.
he'd been drinking for 12 straight hours before a 7 a.m. romp with a stranger he'd met at the pub about an hour earlier.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking any relationship you strike up really drunk at a pub at 6 a.m. is going to last. And apparently a student filmed having sex on the train. He didn't realize that he'd been having sex on the train and that it was filmed until the video went viral online.
Yeah.
And he revealed that he'd swapped numbers with the mystery older redhead, but they can't continue the romance because the police still have his phone. He also outraged public decency. He was fined £170 after footage of them at the Hackney Downs station in East London was played to magistrates last week. It showed them having sex up against a barrier as before they pull up their trousers to hop on the train. He said, I had no idea I was being filmed. I thought all the other passengers were further down and couldn't really see us. He couldn't really remember much about the woman other than she was European and older. He thought like maybe 45. And people are saying that I only lasted 90 seconds.
Oh,
but that's not
enough.
true. I
That's
stopped
enough.
because the train was coming.
It was edited, sure,
But wait,
or whatever.
Wait, here's
What?
the part where you would want to throw yourself in a bus.
Why?
In front of a bus. Because, yes, you had an ill-advised romp.
Yeah.
You can't remember a lot of the details. Yeah, it
Right.
went viral, and yeah, you had to appear in front of a magistrate. But guess how he found out?
Who? Him? No.
His mother saw it
Oh,
first
jeez.
and got to enjoy the awkward conversation with her son. Just kill me. Just throw me in front of a bus right now and get
Throw
it
you
over
in front
with.
of a train.
I would rather than have my mother tell me that.
Oh.
Yeah, just
I think I
Get
threw
it
up a
over with.
little.
picture that. Picture Miss Virginia pulling you aside and turning on the computer.
Oh.
That's got to be the most awkward conversation in your entire personal life.
Here's something interesting as well. Textbooks.
This is like okay, only in Utah, though, would this be like this big crime ring, which entertains me.
What do you got?
Greg Hassapakis is a part-time student down at BYU. He has been accused of stealing textbooks from the BYU bookstore and then selling them to another store. Surveillance cameras at BYU caught him putting textbooks from the BYU bookstore under his clothes and walking out with them. And then they were spotted 3 or 4 more times. And so, of course, once they stopped him, they found out that just on one run, he'd picked up enough textbooks that were worth $2,300, which just goes back
Just
to everything
in
we've
one
talked about.
day?
Yeah, we've talked about this before, that textbooks are ridiculously expensive now. So what he has been doing is that he goes from the BYU campus and then he goes over to Utah State University and then resells
Sells them,
So the value of all of the books that he's stolen and resold now are high enough that this is actually a felony. This guy has been running a felony book selling ring.
And you know what the weird thing? Wouldn't it be weird
Only
if he's
in
a
Utah.
part-time student and he was studying like justice?
Yeah. Criminal science, something like that. That's how I learned. So congratulations, Greg, because that is the most random felony crime ring I've ever heard of.
That is wild. There, good job.
Okay.
All right, Daisy's got information.
Yeah, she's brought to you in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and it's brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but that does not mean that you can't get your credit back on track and a car that you actually want. Just call them at 801-404-7201. Also by Columbus Travel with screamingly good deals on all of their cruise sales this month till October 21st. You can go by and sign up for more information at columbusvacations.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the time of year you totally want to get your furnace checked out. And fortunately, John and his guys are ready to do it for you at allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my darling, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Tuesday, October 17th on GephartDaily.com. Sad news out of Perry, Utah, where one teen was killed and a second critically injured in an auto pedestrian accident Sunday. 16-year-old Alexis Nelson died and 14-year-old Sarah Hardy was injured when they were hit by a pickup truck while trying to cross US 89 near 3500 South in Perry. The Utah Highway Patrol is trying to determine the exact cause of the accident. They say the driver of the pickup was uninjured and is cooperating with the investigation. The state of Utah is seriously considering a bid to host an upcoming Winter Olympics. Governor Gary Herbert and Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski announced Monday that an official exploratory committee is being formed to decide whether to bid on the Games for 2026 or 2030. Fraser Bullock, the chief operating officer of the 2002 Winter Games in Salt Lake City, called the move a very serious step and said the committee would make a final decision by February 1st. And leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are touring the fire zone in Northern California. Elder Carl B. Cook of the Quorum of the 70 joined other LDS leaders this past weekend to both assess the damage and lend spiritual support to those affected by the fire. Cook said he was inspired by the bravery of the California residents and praised Mormon missionaries who have been working to serve evacuees in Northern California since the fire broke out nearly 2 weeks ago. Time now for your Wasatch Front weather, where we'll continue to see a nice warming trend the next few days. We'll actually have highs in the mid-70s before cooling off a tiny bit heading into the weekend. Overnight lows will remain in the 30s and 40s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. And Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy.
Daisy.
Did you hear she was talking about the Olympics and the exploratory commission to see about the Winter Olympics? And I just heard something the other day, which is cool, is in Austria, I think it was. Don't
They turned
count
down the
on
bond,
me.
yeah.
Don't count on me for facts.
Yeah, they turned down the bond.
The bond, they took a vote,
me.
and so that people voted, and they said, no, we don't want to commit that kind of money to the Olympics, so they're out of the race.
Well, they've all been torn, and the IOC actually kind of issued a snotty statement like, oh, don't get excited because, you know, LA's getting the Summer Games, and of course we wouldn't go back to America after that. But their pool is shrinking, and it's funny because they were also saying, well, it could go to Reno, like, you know, Lake Tahoe, it could go to Denver. But the point that everybody made, including even those potential host cities, is, well, Utah's facilities are all still intact and still running, and we would have to spend a buttload of money to build more stuff.
Right.
We've actually kept all our stuff up and running, so actually for us to have to put everything back in action isn't that big a deal.
I'm not sure I want to be third choice.
Well, yeah, excuse me, it's like we're not begging for anything.
I'm
You should
going-
be begging us.
If I'm going to the prom, I want to be the first person
First
you
person
ask.
asked, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be leftovers.
You don't want that corsage to be bedraggled. You want it to be fresh and it's still in its little box.
Bedraggled.
Bedraggled. The wrist corsages, didn't you ever do that when you were going to prom?
Yes, and I wore a boutonniere.
Yes. And they matched.
What did this call? What's what?
You could do a wrist corsage.
Bedraggled.
Bedraggled.
Is that a real word?
Bedraggled, yes. It just means like it's kind of worn out. It's kind of like droopy. It's kind of dirty a little bit. It's like shop worn.
Like me. Say it.
Bedraggled. No, that says butt
I'm not
draggled.
sure I understand.
Do it again. Siri, what is the meaning of the word bedraggled?
Would you like your English
Thank you.
Found on the web
journalist
for Siri, what is
to
the
weigh
meaning
in?
of the word bedraggled?
It's never going to get it. Let Daisy do it, please.
Bedraggled. I use that like probably every other day.
Scoot there.
Yeah, bedraggled.
Not so, okay, make her feel better.
Okay, we'll all
Let's
go down
get
low.
Everyone get down low.
You're hiding behind
I feel a
us.
bit
Yeah.
bedraggled right now.
Look,
So-
you can't help but that you're a tiny
so
little
what
fairy
is it?
princess. Go on.
Have you never heard that word?
No.
Bedraggled.
No.
Explain it to him, would you?
I like it when I think that if I just say a word like 5 times, Todd will suddenly know what. I'm like bedraggled.
It'll be by
That.
osmosis.
Bedraggled.
Oh, that old
Bedraggled,
word.
that it just means like when you're, when you haven't washed your hair and you feel a bit like I was
Yeah.
saying, I feel kind of floppy today.
Yeah, you just
Bedraggled.
You got the greasy skin.
It's a
and
good
you're
word.
Like,
It is a good word.
Yeah.
See? Bedraggled.
Now use it in a question.
A
Use it-
question.
No, use it in a sentence.
Oh, a sentence. It's Tuesday and I didn't have time to put on clean clothes, so I'm feeling a bit bedraggled today.
There you go.
See?
See?
Do you feel
Thank you.
educated now?
Okay.
Thank you.
That was great. Like 3 little gnomes.
I know. Really nice. You see?
I love her. She's like a little tiny fairy princess.
Well, I like us all getting down the low.
I
When
always
was the
feel like
last
this
time?
big Western girl next to her, though. Like, howdy! I feel like I should be riding a horse or something because she's just like a little fairy princess. She's
When did you last think that you would learn something from the Todd and Erin morning stream? Never.
all right. Shall we move on?
Columbus Travel.
I think we should. Yeah, Columbus Travel. This is pretty cool because they're running a sale through October 21st. I do not want you to miss it, and here is why. Not only are the cruises for like screamingly good deals, but they have these all-inclusive vacation plans that will make you want to die. I mean, they've got some down to Mexico where the airfare, the all-inclusive resort, which is drinks and food and activities, all the tips for all of the wait staff, even the transfers back and forth from the airport. And unless you wanted to buy like tourist trinkets, you would never have to spend a penny. And they have them for these ridiculously good prices. See, the deal is you can go anywhere and get airfare. Yeah, go online, grab some airfare. Who cares? But they can actually give you like a hotel stay and airfare for cheaper than a regular flight. Tell me that's not craziness.
That's nuts.
This is why you go to Columbus Travel. So if you go to columbusvacations.com, you can sign up for the weekly newsletter and get all the information there.
All right.
All right, tell me something good. Are you ready for this? Because I love this woman.
Now, yes. Is this going to be a really good one or is this like an okay one?
This is a good one.
Okay.
All right, we've talked about this before, and you didn't believe the number, but 1 in 5 children in Utah go to bed hungry at night. They face food
No.
insecurity.
It's not that I didn't believe the number. I was
didn't want to.
stunned by the number.
You didn't want to. Well, Alyssa Kapasi has thought about that a lot because she found out that literally there was a house next to them where the father had lost their job, and the children literally were hungry every night. And for a lot of parents, they try to go through the online process and they try to get the meal approvals. And
Sometimes that takes a while
sometimes,
too.
yeah, sometimes it's good and fast. Sometimes it's months and months and months. And meanwhile, you've got a child who's going hungry.
Right.
So she created the Food for Thought app, which is freaking awesome.
Okay.
Now, she's 17 years old, and this lets parents buy meals for their kids for the online payment service that goes to their school.
Okay.
And it also gives them the option towards paying for a meal for another hungry student, anonymously giving that. So it's a pay-it-forward model, and basically they already had all of the school systems in her state on the app already, saying, yeah, you can totally use this app to pay for your kids' lunch already just in her area.
So all they did is just add that,
Yeah, and the thing is, she says,
donate another one.
she said it's really simple. She said it's there's no membership fee. It's a free platform, free app. She said you can pay for their kids' school lunches, but also when you're doing it, it just asks you, would you like to pay like $2 for another child's breakfast or lunch? And she said that of all the payments online so far, based on the app,
Yes.
that over 2/3 of the people, 2/3, actually paid for another student's lunch at the same time.
Wow.
I mean, tell me that's not incredible odds. Now, obviously, I think anyone who would be attracted to that concept would be going to that app for first of all. But
Smart girl.
17 years old, and she went. This is
Smart
fantastic.
woman, I
So
should
there's,
say.
there's certain things in line to help them become recipients, but everyone's kept anonymous, both on the donor and the recipient side, to protect privacy.
Yep.
And so far, it's been absolutely amazing. And plus, you don't even have to be a parent. If you want to just download it and use it as a charity application, it will do that for you too, and it'll also send you an itemized statement at the end of the year to use for your taxes.
I like the anonymous thing.
17 years old.
So you just show up and there's food.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
there's lunch for your kid.
All right.
So,
So
Alyssa, I love you.
and we want to thank everyone for watching and listening and doing all those things. And we know it sounds like we're stalking you, which we kind of are. So we want to thank you with a dinner out to Christopher. So we're doing a little giveaway. And all you have to do,
It's actually a big fat giveaway because it's dinner for you and 3 friends.
Yeah.
We send you down to Christopher's Prime Steakhouse, which is the most prestigious and most amazing
It's
steakhouse
fancy,
in the state.
not snooty.
But it's not snooty. I mean, they're wonderful to work with, and they're a lot of fun to go have dinner. They want you to have a good time. And the food is magnificent. So you get to laugh and drink and talk and enjoy yourself and have amazing food. And you get to remember all those feelings you used to have for these friends that maybe you haven't seen them forever, or your
Right.
kids, or it's your time. So
How do
all
you
you
do
have
it?
to do is just drop a comment. That's all we're asking for. And you can do that at any one of our 3 Facebook pages here under the show at Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or the Todd and Erin Facebook page. Drop a comment. We pick Friday. Boom, you're done. That's it.
All right, coming up, eating a donut, sir, you're going to jail. That's coming up.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but repair your credit and find the car you want at Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. Also by Columbus Travel. Sign up for their weekly newsletter today for some screamingly good last-minute travel deals. You can do that at columbusvacations.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the perfect time to check out your heating system and make sure that you're ready for the cold winter months ahead. Go to allutahplumbing.com. And don't forget 24-hour service.
So, Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
It took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, welcome back to the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on GetBarDaily.com.
Because this is my favorite month of the entire year. Zoe and I have been
Tell
making
them why.
this.
Why? Why is it?
It's Halloween. Are you kidding? It's dark and gloomy and scary, and nothing is more beautiful than the moment that it's about to die. So you have all these beautiful colors and everything's amazing, and then next month, it's all gone. So this is the perfect month to celebrate.
So that's what makes it your perfect time of the
well,
year.
you also get to decorate, dress up, and eat candy, and you don't have to buy any presents.
Okay.
See, this is.
What are you going to dress up as this year?
Oh, I got that Harley Quinn outfit, but she's so done now. I might go dressed as a mom, to be completely honest with
What's
you.
Zoe going to go?
She changes daily, but as of yesterday, it was a leopard. So
She's a leopard?
that's what she wants to be, as a leopard.
How come I didn't hear? When did this start?
Well, I told her you're gonna have to commit. I said I'm getting your freaking costume right now. We went through Amazon and went through all of them, and she went, "That's the one."
Okay.
Because the tail is very long and sticks up.
She likes
So
that.
she can have the tail swaying behind her.
Okay.
But I said, "You're committing. This is it, girl. It's not gonna
Right.
be like last year when you changed 3 times and I had to keep taking outfits back." She's like, "No, this is it."
All right.
But anyway, there's so many different things to do, and you should be making like a list because we only have 2 weeks left. Do you realize that?
Oh my gosh, 2 weeks.
I know, and there's so much to do. One of the cool ones, if you've never been down to Thanksgiving Point, they have the Scarecrow Festival, and it's just started this week and it runs through the 21st. It is really, really fun. I don't know if you've seen it before.
Today out here at the Ashton Gardens, it's our 3rd annual Scarecrow Festival. We just thought we saw other parts of the country do it, other gardens, and we invite our community and our staff members to build scarecrows. This year we have about 68 scarecrows. Kind of what we'd say a scarecrow is a cross-like shaped frame that you put any burlap, any other costumes, clothes. Any people do funny ones with like plaid shirts, pumpkin faces. Of course, you have to have some straw in there to be a scarecrow. We keep this growing. We started off with just a 2 days, and now it's a week long. So we are aiming for about 15 to 17,000 people will come this whole week.
You know, there's not a crow within 18 miles of that place.
Once again, that runs through the 21st, and they're open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. if you want to run down and check it out.
That's the horse one.
Well, it's the bloody horse. That was like a mule, wasn't it? Or, oh, it's Groot. Oh, it's got to be good if it's got Groot in it. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm going to tell you a story, and this is going to scare you.
Just that this can happen.
It's in Florida.
Just that this is actually possible.
Let me set the scene for you. 62-year-old, I believe. Florida. What's he doing? Oh my gosh, he's taking a friend of his, to chemotherapy. And then he gets a call, and oh my gosh, his friend needs a ride. So he picks him up at a 7-Eleven.
What a lovely man.
This guy is out there. He's making it work. He's making it happen.
Helping his friends. He's a great guy.
He's a useful person in society. And then, you know what he does every once in a while when he splurges? But once every 2 weeks, he goes and, well, first of all, let me tell you, when he got pulled over by the cops.
Okay, that's an abrupt transition. So that he's pulled over by the cops.
They look at him.
Okay.
He informs them that he has a concealed weapons permit.
Good.
Everything's fine.
Important to do that.
Then the officer looks down in his lap and sees a white substance.
Oh, that's not a good
She
start.
drops him out of the car, puts him up against the car, cuffs him for safety reasons, disarms him. He says, what are you doing? What are you doing? She goes, just a second, sir. May I search your car? And he said, yeah.
Because what does he have to hide?
Yeah. And what she did is she went in with a little envelope and picked up some of this white substance.
Oh.
She go, oh, I know what this is. This is meth. That's what it is. She takes the meth and she opens the trunk of her cruiser. She takes the chemical field test thing.
Which I can't help but feel is not always accurate, but okay, let's go on.
Puts in that substance. Positive. He's going to jail.
For what? Positive for what?
Drugs.
Methamphetamines?
He is going to 62-year-old, giving people a ride to the hospital, doing all this stuff.
And he's doing meth?
Yeah, or selling it. You never know. The problem is what it was the icing off a Krispy Kreme donut.
Okay, here's the weird thing. I think we actually even told this story on the air here.
Right.
This poor man goes to jail for, I mean, it was months, as I recall, before it went up for trial.
Yeah.
Because this was in December 2015. He actually served jail time while waiting for trial, and when it got to trial, they had already sent it off to the more advanced labs, and they were no, it's Krispy Kreme. This man spent time in jail for a freaking Krispy Kreme donut, so he was just awarded $37,000.
That's not enough.
Which is not enough. How does a drug mistake frosting, an icing glaze for methamphetamine?
Yeah, you ever seen the tests where it's got a line and all of a sudden it jumps when they find the substance? So that's what it looks like for Krispy Kreme. You got this. Hang on one second.
I'm sure they can see that.
Yeah, see right here. You can't see it, can you?
Lean it forward. There you go. Lean it forward a little bit more, Jared. The other way. There, a little more. Okay, that's a good try. Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's just admit that you made an effort. Okay.
I really tried. Should have used the magic marker. So basically, the line goes along and it goes meth, heroin, Krispy Kreme.
She just didn't wait for the spike in the test, apparently.
Isn't that funny? And so the officer was talked to, and then he got $37,000, which I don't think is enough.
That's not enough for the amount of time that poor man's been in jail for having a Krispy Kreme donut.
That'll teach him.
And the fact, though, that they didn't get that sent off properly and that it didn't get back, and the fact that his defense attorney wasn't, like, on top of this is like, are you kidding? But anyway. Okay, so here's this is actually a new survey. It's international.
Okay.
And we come up looking pretty good, Salt Lake City.
Again, Salt Lake City on the map.
And it's based on a certain level of safety index numbers. And we are out of the top 50 cities in the world, top 50 cities in the world, we are the 49th safest city, which is nice. But I was taking a look at some of the other ones that they consider safe in Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah.
My sister served as a diplomat there.
They can't afford weapons.
I don't picture them. She Azerbaijan, Baku, Azerbaijan, Eastern European, constant conflict
Sure,
with Russia.
whatever.
That seemed like another one that seemed a little dicey to me. Romania, sure. Luxembourg, of course, because it's Luxembourg.
Romania.
Israel, Slovenia, and these
Slovenia.
are all the safest cities in the world.
They're all old school cities too. They're castles and such.
And so it's kind of cool that we're there. But like Valenzuela in the Philippines, another way. Some of these seem like interesting choices for the safest cities in the world.
It's Thailand. Thailand has got an incredible thing where you never see a policeman. I've talked to like 3 or 4
Don't
people.
they like self-police each other?
They
Or?
do. I think it's Thailand. But they
Where
are
it's
like
like shaming, like how could you be so
they
disrespectful?
watch each other and they were like, don't do that. That's not good. And so we had friends who went there and they went, suddenly we noticed
And
after
it was
about
spotless.
a week.
Yeah, totally spotless.
It was
Nobody
just
littered.
interesting.
Well,
So it's nice to be safe.
I guess, but we're with war-torn Eastern European
Romania.
cities, so
We're
it's
with
kind of
Romania. Who
all right.
knew?
Okay. So there you go.
All right.
They said we're safe.
I love this story.
Congratulations.
Love this story.
Tell me.
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, 85% electric grid still down. Now there's a big issue about people tapping the wells because of lack of water in areas that are actually superfunds. If you know what superfund is a poisoned, polluted area that the federal government has come in and said, everyone out, get out of here. Don't drink the water in the wells that are close. And they block it off.
There were
fence it off.
certain statements from the administration going, there's more generators in Puerto Rico than in all of America right now. It's a fact.
Right.
That was a quote.
It's not.
I can't pertain to the accuracy of that statement, but since there's no gasoline, it really is kind of a moot point
let's
right
get
now.
back to the point, is that people
This
are
is-
drinking the tainted water and
Yeah,
they
and
haven't tested it yet.
This
So
is our territory.
this
These
is
people
going down.
fight in our same armies and our same air forces, and this is a territory that we took over as America. This is part of us. This is us.
So we ask, and we always ask it when times like this, where are the heroes? And the heroes, I think, might be a little surprising.
I love this one.
Tesla, one of the big guys, the big wigs.
Elon Musk.
He said this like 2 weeks ago. He said, we will come and we will help rebuild the power grid, but we're going to use your existing solar panels and then add to it and then add batteries to store that energy. And they're actually doing it.
And they're already over there with a huge amount. And then he also put the pressure on a bunch of other Silicon Valley billionaires to do the same thing to help in their way. For instance, Google created.
This is so cool.
This was part of their amazing thing. If you hadn't heard about it, they were doing $1 million prizes for college students. Come up with an incredible idea. Come up with something no one else has done before. We'll give you $1 million as a prize, and then we'll fund it. One of those was an energy-based balloon where you could actually have balloons over a disaster area or maybe a third world country area that would actually give you Wi-Fi signal, so you could still get out, you could still communicate with the rest of the world. So they're already floating those over the island.
They're already up.
Isn't that amazing?
They're working.
So they're already getting access and communication, which is crucial to repair.
I just think it's so funny.
It's so creative though.
And right now, it's so nice to. You see all the different reports and stuff, and what the government is saying kind of looks like BS. But a lot of reports on the ground from ex-military, from all these groups. This group of ex-Marines went over there, and they're getting to the outskirts of the out of town, and they're just going, we don't have anything. They're giving a family a bottle of water.
Yeah, these are former special
They're
ops
not-
guys who are there on
They're
the.
not there to lie.
Who are there to help, just to be there, and they're like, we don't have anything. We need your help.
Because they said, we're here to do this. We just need the stuff. We can get to them. We know how to do this. And so
that's why I love the idea of Tesla kicking in with all of the solar energy, and then of course Google coming in with all of the ability to communicate. I mean, that's incredible to me.
And they Puerto Rico has been dependent on diesel to run their big power stations forever, and natural gas. And so they have been importing that forever. And if they can stop doing that, because they're in financial woes, that will help them dig out if they can be self-sustaining.
Alrighty. Coming up next, did you know that you could actually attempt to murder somebody with their eye drops? We'll explain. The Todd and Erin morning stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Did you know that you can qualify for a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600? Just go to fink-mcgregor.com for more information. It's mortgages made simple. Also by the Vein Clinic. There's several excellent varicose vein removal procedures, but you need to find the right one for you. You can do that by scheduling an appointment at theveinclinic.com. And also by Black Diamond Heating, Electric, Plumbing, and Air. Black Diamond Experts, they also have a brand new office open in Ogden. You'll be glad you called an expert. blackdiamondexpert.com.
Utah Credit Approval is now Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. That's why they approve more people than anyone, with better vehicles and lower interest rates, even 0 down payment. Just listen to one of their satisfied customers.
We recently went through a bankruptcy process looking to purchase new vehicles. We found Utah Credit Approval, went there, they treated us amazingly. If you don't want to go to another dealership and deal with all the BS in the sales manager office, go to these guys, you will not be sorry.
Utah Credit Approval, Gephardt approved, and Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. Apply today and drive away. It takes 5 minutes or less to get approved. Plus, they'll throw in a $500 cash card with your new car. Visit utahcreditapproval.com or call 801-921-9819. That's 801-921-9819. Go to utahcreditapproval.com now.
Good morning, everyone on Facebook. Okay, so murder. You said something about murder.
Well, do you remember this woman? It was a case against a Davis County woman. She was charged with poisoning her husband, attempting to murder him using eye drops. The Davis County Attorney's Office filed a motion. This was against Chandra Reed.
Using what?
Chandra Reed of West Point. She was charged with surreptitious administration of a substance, which is a Class A misdemeanor, accused of poisoning her husband, who had become very, very ill for several months, had lost 40 pounds, and he began to try to go through the house and figure out what could be making him sick. And based on some of her behaviors, started going through a lot of her personal things. And then he found 10 empty bottles and 6 unopened bottles of an eye drop solution. And then also found additional chemicals that led them to believe she had been poisoning him with his eye drops. She had been putting in, what?
Why do you have these?
I have bloodshot eyes all the time.
Why do you have the murder weapon? So she was putting poison in here?
She was putting in chemicals to make him sick that would eventually poison him to death. Of course, this is according to the charging documents.
I love the fact this is Visine, and the brand, the label on it says Totally.
It's totality.
No, it says Totally.
It's totality.
All right, so go through.
As in totality of all your symptoms.
All your red eyes, yeah. So did she kill him?
Well, no, he's still alive, but here's the weird part. They just dismissed the charges.
Against her?
Yes. And the Davis County Attorney's Office agreed that there were poisonous substances in the eye drops case, and that she had even said, you're not the only one, but they still dropped the case. So I'm assuming we're missing something, but that's random enough that it did catch my eye. It's like you would think.
You would think that
with the admission and the evidence and the violently sick husband that perhaps.
What were they charging her with in the first place?
Surreptitious administration of a substance.
And it's a Class A misdemeanor of trying to kill someone?
It seemed a little random to me. I remember the story making national news, and now it's being dismissed. So I'm like, so who?
What happened
Screwed
there?
up. Okay.
All right. That's just the weirdest thing.
Okay.
All right.
It's time for us to go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily
is.
Newsroom. And she is brought to you by, of course, Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you can find out that in 4 minutes there's a myriad of different mortgage opportunities for you. And, of course, they'll have someone call you back within the next business day if you would like. And then by To Liberate a Man. Free yourself from adult Adult Addiction for Good. They'll show you the exact steps to freedom to reclaim your life at liberateaman.com. And also by Black Diamond Experts. Experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. 24-hour service and now open in Ogden. Go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news for Tuesday, October 17th on GetPartDaily.com. There's a new challenge for firefighters working to put out the deadly wildfires in Northern California. The California Highway Patrol now says drone operators are hindering firefighting efforts and have actually stopped air tankers from doing their jobs. One drone operator was arrested when his drone shut down air operations for 10 critical minutes this weekend. Police say they're searching for several other drone pilots flying in the area. Senator John McCain took a not-so-veiled shot at the Trump administration Monday, cautioning the U.S. against its embrace of, quote, half-baked, spurious nationalism. The feisty Republican senator made the comments while speaking Monday in Philadelphia. McCain warned Americans not to abandon the ideals the U.S. has advanced around the globe and to disavow nationalist ideas cooked up by people who would rather find scapegoats than solve problems. The remarks came after McCain was honored with the Liberty Medal by the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia just months after being diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer. And Donald Trump's approval rating for his handling of the recent hurricanes has dropped 20 points since his trip to Puerto Rico. In mid-September, 64% of Americans approved of Trump's handling of the U.S. hurricane response. Now just 44% say they approve. A month after the deadly storm, 86% of the island has no electricity, and drinking water is still in short supply. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GetPartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy.
All right, so there's a lot of road construction going on right now, and this is something they're trying to wrap up before it starts snowing and stuff. And they've done 106 interchange over here where we're located, busiest interchange in the state. And they did it in like 10 days.
It was impressive.
$23 million, and then boom, it's done, which is great. But the side streets, it's really interesting in a lot of places. And I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube for some reason, and they have and they show guys just driving down, just bitching about the road with all the potholes in it.
Well, they've got
and the camera's doing this.
Oh yeah, well they call them tire poppers. I mean, there's several streets along in Salt Lake City where they do. They call them tire poppers because they're such bad potholes that they can actually pop your tire.
And if you hit them fast enough, bent your rim, do all this stuff out of alignment, it can do all kinds of damage. And a lot of people have done different things to draw people's attention. There's one guy who actually started going out, there was huge ones out in front of his house, who went and actually fixed them.
That desperate. People usually spray paint them like with fluorescent paint to go,
right,
this is a pothole, you may want to avoid it because the city hasn't taken care of it yet.
In India, they have an artist out there, and he was just so sad about the fact and ticked off. His name is Badal. I have a really complicated last name. And he was an artist.
Arjuna Swami.
Yeah. So he decided to do this because he's an artist. And he went out and he painted.
Oh, that is hysterical.
Them to look like little oceans, filled it with water, and got a mermaid.
He made pothole mermaids. That is freaking adorable.
That is a big,
look at the old dude
pothole
behind her in the shorts, and he's like, that is so cute. Look at her. She's like a pothole mermaid.
India is such a fun country.
That is hysterical.
That is funny, isn't it?
They still probably won't fix them. They'll probably actually make them mini parks now. Like, no, it's a park. It's not a pothole. It's a park.
They in one city, and we didn't talk about it. In one city, people were driving around and using spray paint and drawing male genitalia around to get the word out. And
but you want to cover that one up a lot quicker than perhaps some of the others. Yeah, that would do it.
So there you go.
All right, coming up, two interesting things. First, the fajita felony. Yes, there is such a thing.
There can't be.
Oh, yes, there can.
Unless you're really hungry.
Number two, there's one guy who decorates for his house for Halloween in an extravaganza unparalleled by anything else in the state. We have a picture of his newest one coming up. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Go to fink-mcgregor.com for mortgages made simple. Because they're a broker, they have a number of different options they can offer you. Just go through a 4-minute questionnaire and someone will call you back by the next business day and get you on your way. It's fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Utah Credit Approval knows that there's sometimes the bad things happen to good people and that credit may be hard to repair. But you can apply today and drive away today with Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Go to allutahplumbing.com to schedule a check to make sure that you're ready for winter. And don't forget, they have 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com.
It's very spooky. You want to tell them about Black Diamond?
Oh, of course, it's Black Diamond Experts. By the way, they're now open in Ogden, so that makes it even easier to get them if you want. Now, these are 24-hour service people, meaning that if you've got a problem at the office, they will be there at 7 o'clock before you open to fix it. I happen to know this because they did that right across the street from our studio. So I actually talked to the guy, and he goes, oh, yeah, this is nothing. He says, 3 a.m., I've been waist-deep in sewage in someone's basement before. And it's like sort of like a point of pride with these guys. They're like, what is the worst possible thing I can fix? And they do it, and they're really like absurdly pleased with themselves, which I love, because they're licensed, bonded, and insured, and they're experts because they do electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They basically cover everything in the house. So if you need somebody and you need them at some god-awful hour, nonetheless, they will still be there for you. All you have to do is go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Blackdiamondexpert.com.
All right, so this is the weirdest.
Do you want me to
stuff.
read this one? Because I love it.
We have had a lot of stories about women trying to kill men.
I'm noticing that.
We had Pink saying she's not going to have sex for a year.
She hasn't had sex for you. That doesn't mean that she's going to, not now. She might more. I don't know where I went with that. Sorry, go on. I was defending Pink.
A woman was sentenced to prison for trying to hire a hitman to kill her ex-husband in order to get custody of their kids and $1 million life insurance payout.
It gets better.
That's pretty straightforward.
Oh, no, it gets weirder.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so she's finally into court.
Yeah.
And they say, ma'am, do you remember trying to hire someone to murder your ex-husband? She goes, I don't ever recall saying anything like that. They had her on tape. At the time, I'll be honest with you, I was trying bath salts, and I apologize if I did say something, because I don't recall saying anything like that. This is Billy Joe Agee.
Now, the point is she was smoking bath salts, but that was a mistake because she thought it was meth.
So see, there you go.
And that's happened to how many of us, right?
Okay, so this actually gets weirder. She was convicted of trying to hire her estranged second husband to kill her husband from her first marriage.
Oh, my God.
Follow the flow chart. So she could have custody of their children, boy, I bet they're like, crisis averted, and collect the proceeds of his $1 million life insurance policy.
Right.
Shouldn't
this make the second husband a little nervous? Because she's using him to kill the first husband. What if she gets married again? And that husband killed the second husband. See where we're going
Right,
here.
yeah, because, he testified against her and wore a wire.
Right.
So then if you can get rid of him,
right.
then she has to figure out what to do with the third husband.
She's already got $1 million because she killed the first.
Jeez. I know her first husband actually testified during the board hearing, too, saying she needs a lot of help.
Right.
We'd like her to stay on this side of the fence for a while. My kids would feel more comfortable. But I just still enjoy her excuse of, I had bath salts, and so I can't really guarantee anything. I don't recall
I thought
though.
it was meth.
I don't recall.
How do you bring that up? How do you bring up a conversation like you and I were out having coffee, right? And I want someone bumped off, and I look at you, and you're...
because I'm savage, and you think that I would do it out of spite, which is probably true.
And aggressively.
My nature is spite-based.
And I know that you'd finish the job.
Yes, I would.
And so you're like, hey, how are you? I'm having some coffee. You're having coffee. Here, would you like a croissant? And then you go, hey, got a question. Would you kill someone for me? What?
Yeah, I know we're not doing so good marital-wise, and we
Right.
kind of hate each other, but, I could get you a little nice something.
Where's
bump.
that sentence come out of your face to the other person? You say, hey, would you kill someone for me? Hey, can I borrow your canoe?
And then
Yeah.
could you kill someone for
And
me?
then would you kill someone
Here's
for
some
me?
bath salts. You want to smoke them with me?
They're not math. All right.
Well, I actually like the fact, though,
Okay,
that she
so-
testified under oath in a legal proceeding that, oh, yeah, I was doing meth. It's like, because at that point, really, after the initial charges, it's
Yeah,
not
it
like
doesn't
it's going to
matter.
add anything
Yeah.
else, right? It
I just
really
want
doesn't.
to warn all the guys out there. We've done 3 stories so far. One guy's not going to have sex for a year. Another person's getting killed with eye drops, and she gets off. And then this other guy is going to be smack whacked by a second husband. So guys, keep your eyes open.
And do the dishes every now and then.
Keep your
okay?
head on a swivel.
Just
360.
just clean the kitchen every now and then, and maybe it won't
Oh.
come to that. That's just a thought. Empty out the garbage.
Oh, I see where you're
out
going.
of the kitchen, take it out to
yeah.
the curb, and just every now and then, maybe it won't happen.
Get rid of the knives in the house.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
go ahead.
Whatever. Okay, tell me this is not the most epic thing ever. Are you ready?
Yes.
There is such a thing as a fajita felony. Now listen to this.
No, there isn't.
A Texas
Oh,
district
wait.
attorney said,
I'm hungry
these
now.
fajitas are delicious. Look at that. Oh,
I
with the
want
beef
one.
and the shrimp. That is incredible.
Why can't we
I
have
know.
one?
Now I'm really wanting one. A Texas district attorney said a former county worker has admitted to stealing nearly $1.3 million worth of fajitas over the last 9 years.
So when you say fajitas, do you mean the meat mixture?
Yes, exactly. The meat
Okay.
mixture and all of the
With the
veggies and everything.
peppers.
They
Yeah.
discovered the lengthy scam after an 800-pound delivery of fajitas entered at the Cameron County Juvenile Justice Department in San Benito.
Right.
A kitchen staffer said, well, the juvenile center didn't serve fajitas, but
Right.
the driver said, well, no, I've been delivering these here for like a decade. I mean, I
What?
deliver the fajitas all the time. And so what they found out that Gilberto Escamilla was an employee at the juvenile center, and apparently he was sick that day when he traditionally would intercept the fajita delivery.
Right.
And then once they tracked it all back down, realized this guy had stolen $1.3 million of fajitas.
He's a bad hombre.
He was intercepting the delivery of fajitas and then selling them to his own customers. So he was like the fajita connection, I guess, all across the land. And and the funny thing, the sad part is the district attorney said, look, if it weren't so serious, you would think it was like a Saturday Night Live skit, but it really was. And so they're not thrilled with the juvenile department for not noticing that $1.3 million worth of fajitas had disappeared over the last decade. But because he's stolen that much, this makes it a felony. So now he's looking at serious jail time. So he's going to be in prison. They're all going to be sitting around one day in the yard lifting weights or doing whatever people do in orange jumpsuits. And one's going to go, what are you in here for? And a guy goes, I killed a cat and ate it on live television. Another guy will go, I murdered 16 people and then pushed a bus over a cliff. And
What
then
are
they'll look
you
at him and he's
in
like,
for?
still fajitas.
How much money?
$1.3 million worth
He's
of
a
fajitas.
bad hombre. You know what he should do? He should worry. Because what if his wife hires a guy?
Wait, the fajitas have stopped? Where's my fajita connection?
Kill that guy.
Yeah.
You take all that money he made for selling the fajitas.
And then you have to go buy your own fajitas. I can see why she would be angry.
She'll be rolling in the fajitas. That sounds gross.
All right, this has been a week of like the weirdest crimes ever, and I think we've covered a fairly impressive percentage today.
Yeah.
But our friend Richard found another one. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
A pathologist who provides services.
What's
for
a pathologist?
Pathologist. This is the man, of course, at the coroner's office who does a lot of the autopsies, and he goes through all of the body parts and looks for different things.
Okay.
Like perhaps if they thought it was foul play, or they want to find out what had killed the person, or
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
like a guy that the wife hired to whack her husband.
Or the eye drop guy.
Right.
Well,
Pathologist.
Elmo A. Griggs, which is really a kind of a great story in of itself. Elmo A. Griggs, 75, is a coroner's pathologist.
Hi there.
He was arrested before 10 p.m. yesterday on Indiana Route 67 after police say another motorist saw him driving erratically in his 2016 Nissan Titan pickup truck.
Nice.
That's a big truck.
It is big
That's
truck.
a real big truck. What they found out is the investigating officer noticed several labeled totes containing, quote, organic material in the back of the pickup.
Okay.
A preliminary investigation by the officer showed the totes were labeled as brain and liver samples.
Wait. Just wait.
Mm-hmm.
Let it soak in.
So basically, they found over 75 human organs and several empty bottles of vodka in his Nissan Titan during his traffic stop. So now your question is not even necessarily, so you were driving drunk in the Nissan Titan, 75-year-old Elmo Griggs. It's what were you going to do with the internal organs in the totes?
You're driving.
Look at that face too. It's like, this is the face of a man who, I have not yet sobered up. I have no idea what's still happening to me. Look at that face.
So he's
Look at that face.
driving with all that in the back of his truck, and he's drinking vodka, and the cop must have gone, "Are you out of your mind? Have you lost your mind?" He goes, "No, it's in the back of the truck." And you know what? They label those hazardous waste.
I seriously would be the police officer just going, what were you going to do with them? What were you going to do with all the brains and the livers? And I think there was like a kidney thrown in there and a couple of eyeballs, a couple of other
Flather
things.
beans. Chianti.
Okay, that was good. We're down here. Okay, that's good.
Salt Lake Man's, the new extravaganza.
Now, this is cool. If you want to go by and take a look at his house, this guy lives at about 15th East and 9th South in Salt Lake City. Every year he comes up with some new and amazing Halloween decoration where he literally takes over his entire house. Now, he's done things like he did this whole big dramatic thing with Twilight with all of these flying vampires. He's done stuff before with, with all kinds of zombie themes.
Oh, that's cool.
But this year it was King Kong. Now, if you take a look at this, he's got like a little Barbie doll held in his fist, and he built this gigantic.
Oh my gosh, he's funny.
I mean, Empire State Building. And look, all the little biplanes flying around
all the
him.
windows and stuff.
And none of this is blow up. This is all hand constructed. Isn't that cool?
I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you that the blow up things I don't think count. Oh, that's me.
I just think in this case
for Christmas the blow up things. This guy makes an effort. Look at him.
That's hand constructed. This guy put a lot into this.
Amazing.
Isn't that cool? And he does it every year with a new theme for Halloween.
See, I'm sorry if you're a blow up decor person on your front yard for Christmas or
Did you see our neighbor rented one of those pods and he had to put in front of his house, and he and his son, it's Fred. He and his son are already decorating as a spook alley for Halloween.
Oh, funny.
They've got all this stuff all over it, so they're going to keep the pod through Halloween so they can use it as like a portable spook alley.
Where, meanwhile, our other neighbor has porta potties delivered to the front yard of his friend just at random for no reason whatsoever. And last year, it did happen to be the week before Christmas, and then they went over and they put a bow on it. And he had all the guests around from the country coming over to his house.
What's with the porta potty?
Porta potty right in the center. So they put lights on it and they made the best of it, which is kind of funny.
We have the best neighbors in the world. We really do.
All right,
or at least the most entertaining.
So we want to say goodbye now and thank you for watching. And
have you ever walked the Spiral Jetty?
I have not.
It's really interesting. It's actually from artist Robert Smithson.
When did this happen?
This was back in 1970. He chose the Roselle Point spot off the Great Salt Lake because of the blood red color of the water and its connection to the primordial sea. But if you take a look at this jetty, it's really very beautiful. It's very elegant.
Do they have any details of? It's made out of rock. Even when the water's over it, you can still see it.
Precipitated salt crystals, mud, and basalt rock. Yeah, and it's 1,500 foot long, 15 foot wide, and it's a coil that juts from the shore of the lake. It's really beautiful. And they say that when people see it from the sky, they're like amazed. They want to find out what happened.
Aliens. That's fake news.
But anyway, our cameraman Richard was out there the other day, and
he's an alien.
It's entirely possible. He was communicating with the home planet, but he did catch some footage, and I think
and he
that's
was
the
wearing a
important
tinfoil hat. So you guys, thanks for watching. It's the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on GetPartDaily.com.